Hey, how's it going, people? It is your boy Johnny, and today we're going to be reviewing Pokken Tournament DX for the Nintendo Switch. First of all, I would like to make a special announcement. This product was provided by Nintendo, so thank you for Nintendo for allowing me to review Pokken Tournament for the Nintendo Switch. Now, before we begin the review, I want to mention that Pokken Tournament is a fighting game that has been out on the Nintendo Wii U, and now it's going to be released on the Nintendo Switch for Pokken Tournament DX with more additional content. It is a Pokemon fighting game, believe it or not. It has a more style of arcade gameplay rather than the traditional strategy in Pokemon games. One thing I do want to mention is that this is the first time I played a Pokken Tournament game. So Pokken Tournament on DX on the Nintendo Switch is actually a pretty good idea from Nintendo because it allows people who haven't gotten a chance to play the Wii U version to actually play Pokken Tournament DX, and now giving you the opportunity to experience this fighting game. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about in this review is Pokken Tournament DX gameplay. Now, I actually recommend the gameplay in Pokken Tournament DX because it's really good for casual gamers and it's also good for competitive gamers. So if you're a brand new gamer and you don't know how to play a fighting game, Pokken Tournament will teach you right off the bat a tutorial on how to play the game. Now, if you're a competitive gamer, it has a lot of different variety and moves and Pokemon that you can use in order to have different strategies if you're gonna play this game as competitively. And believe it or not, Pokken Tournament is actually a game that's actually starting to become more widely accepted as a really competitive game because they've been having a lot of Nintendo tournaments where Pokken tournaments people have had, and it's just really amazing that this game has grown to the point where it is at. Now, one thing that I want to mention about the gameplay is the burst energies. Believe it or not, the burst energy is probably one of the best things in this game. It is so satisfying to use your Pokemon when you use the burst energy because you're just going all out in a special move attack to your opponent. And each different Pokemon has its own unique one. Another thing that I like about Pokken Tournament is that you can have your support Pokemon, which you can choose through different Pokemon. You can use through Popplio and Litten, and they have even legendary Pokemons that you can use to your support. And these Pokemon also allow you to, they either come and assist you in the battle with synergy or health, and they allow you to attack your opponents as well, depending on the different type of support Pokemon they have. Each one has different abilities that they can help you out in between the matches. So that's actually pretty cool. And another thing that you should look out when you're playing the gameplay in Pokken Tournament DX is that this game allows you to move through different phases, which allows you to attack your opponent in different ways before planning your next move to attack him. So it's actually pretty cool that they have that, and I think it's pretty awesome. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about Pokken Tournament DX is content. Now, one thing that I always look for in a game is content. Does the game have a lot of content? Do you have a lot of stuff that you can do even after you beat the story? Well, Pokken Tournament actually does have a lot of content. This game is probably one of the biggest fighting games packed with content, believe it or not. There are several different things that you can do. In My Town, you can go ahead and customize your character the way you want him, and you can also have these amazing titles that you can collect and unlock throughout the game, which gives you some stuff to do in the game which you want to unlock. Another thing that I really like about Pokken Tournament DX is the leveling up of each Pokemon. Each Pokemon can go ahead and be leveled up through attack, synergy, and strategy and defense. And I don't really know the full capabilities of this, but this will definitely keep you coming back and choosing different Pokemon and leveling them up. So that's a pretty good thing to talk about the content in Pokken Tournament. And you can also earn your Pokegold, which is the in-game's currency, which allows you to unlock different clothes for your characters and allows you to change stuff on your character and customizations. And that's actually pretty cool. Believe it or not, your character has some customizations in Pokken Tournament. So that's pretty awesome. And as well as the titles that you can get, which you can set, but these are usually unlocked through different things that you do in the game, so that's something that will keep you around playing Pokken Tournament. But that's not the only thing that allows you to have in Pokken Tournament. There's so much more content as well as the daily challenges, which is pretty awesome to go to a daily challenge in Pokken Tournament because it allows you to receive skill points, and it's typically like 3 Pokemon that you're allowed to battle in your challenge, and you're allowed to go ahead and unlock skill points so you can level up like multiple Pokemon at a time. But it's only available once a day, which is your daily challenge, and that's a pretty cool add-on feature that allows you to come back to the game and like, hey, I'm gonna go play this and, you know, try 3 different Pokemon out at the same time. in this haunted house daily challenge area. It's really awesome. So I think that's a pretty cool thing that they added. They have local battles, of course. Every typical fighting game has local battles where you can play at home. And the Ferrum League is kind of like the storyline in Pokken Tournament. I'm not going to say that it isn't a bad storyline, but it isn't the most deep storyline, if you know what I mean. It does have a couple of cutscenes in here, and it has different leagues that you're allowed to beat in the story. So it's pretty worthwhile to check it out because it allows you to rank up really fast and allows you to get a lot of Poké Gold as well. Another thing that I want to mention is that it does have single battle online and wireless play in practice. Now, I do like the fact that they do have online battles with ranked battles. This is probably the most fun thing in the game as well, is the ranking play. Allowing you to rank battles with other people around the world is just awesome. It's a competitive place that determines your rank, and you can go ahead and use different wins and see your ratio and your total number of battles. So that's actually pretty awesome, guys, that they have online battles. At the point that I'm reviewing this game, there's not really a lot of matches online because, of course, the game hasn't fully released till September 22nd. So I'm definitely going to recommend that if you're good, go there and level up your Pokemon and then come back to ranked battles and have a lot of fun with different people around the world. And you can play with your friends. Alright, the next part of the review we're going to be talking about is the graphics and the Switch function. Okay, so since you're now using the Nintendo Switch, and if you were using the Nintendo Wii U back then, there's going to be a lot of major differences in Pokken Tournament. I mean, they're entirely kind of the same game, but the Switch version, of course, has different stuff. For example, more Pokemon in your roster. There's several different Pokemon, and there is new support Pokemon from the new generation of Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's also more stuff in the Switch version. For example, the graphics are actually quite a bit better than the original. The models aren't really that different, but there is definitely an improved version from the Nintendo Wii U. I compared it through different gameplay videos I've seen online. Like I said, this is my first Pokken Tournament, but as you guys can see, this one actually runs at 60 FPS and the old one runs at 30 FPS. So if you're looking for a 60 FPS game, you now have a stable game for the Nintendo Switch, and it runs pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't received any type of bugs in the game, so that's a good sign that this is a really well developed game. There's no bugs at all that I have seen so far. There might be a bug for somebody later on, but to be honest, this game has no bugs and it runs really smooth on the Nintendo Switch, whether it's either in dock mode or it's either taking it on handheld portability. This game runs really well on the Nintendo Switch, and it does last your battery quite some time. So the game does have a really good battery life on the Nintendo Switch. So it's pretty cool to take a fighting game as well on the Nintendo Switch, because, you know, fighting games are like one of the games that you're probably going to connect with your friend, mainly when you go out or anywhere, because it's a fighting game, you know, and you can take it out on the Switch handheld portable device. So I think that's a really major plus on this game that you should have in your Nintendo Switch library. Other major things that the Nintendo Switch functions has is that, of course, this version you can play with the 2 Joy-Cons that bring your console, so you don't really have to buy an additional controller, although I do recommend you buy the Pro Controller or buy the controller for Pokken Tournament Switch, because it's just a better experience. But it's a pretty cool feature that you can just play with your Joy-Cons as well. Each Joy-Con is a controller for each player, so that's a thing that's pretty awesome in the Switch version of the Pokken Tournament DX, and I cannot say it wouldn't be better without it. It's actually one of the best functions that it has. So it gives you the opportunity to play everywhere. So that's what I'm trying to say on the Nintendo Switch. Now, since my rankings of when I do a review, I usually rank my reviews through 1 through 5. I will have to give this game 4.5 stars. Why will I give it a 4.5 stars? Because in my personal opinion, this is the first major fighting game on the Nintendo Switch. I know there was other fighting games that have already came out on the Nintendo Switch, but you know, if you're looking for a fighting game, Pokken Tournament DX is definitely a game to go for at the moment, and it's definitely something that you should have in your Nintendo Switch library. So I give it a 4.5 stars out of 5. Believe it or not, this game is pretty good. I recommend anyone to pick it up, so a 4.5 out of stars is a pretty good review. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Pokken Tournament DX? Will you be buying this game? Because I definitely like it.